am I Indian and where I am from? Yes, I am Indian. I'm Indian American. My parents were from Calcutta and Ahmedabad and raised in Bombay, now Mumbai. And then they came over. They went to medical school in India, where they met doing a play. So how about that? In their copious free time, they did a play together.
Medical school and the arts. That's like a perfect person. You know, that's the way I see it.
The two of them are pretty
science and creativity.
Pretty darn extraordinary people. I really lucked out in the family department. And then they came over to the States and had me and my brother here. So Indian American. That is my background.
So Rampart is, I mean, how much of you is Rampart? How much of Rampart is you? This is the eternal question.
Yeah, I will say she does have my little crooked smile thing that I have, which I hate on my own face, and I love so much on hers that now I'm starting to like it on my own face.
Well, that's good.
Because I have this little bit of a thing that happens, and now everyone else is going to notice it because I pointed it out. Yeah, no, I'm very happy that she made me like my face. But such a good question. I feel like there's probably a lot of me in her, except for the fact that I'm not quite as mean. You know, like there's so many things. There's so many voice lines that I just would never say in real life. Like they're so mean. And it's similar to Sumitra. You know, Sumitra is a queen of shade, and there are things she says where I'm like, oh, that was a very elegant way to say something really awful. So I will never say that. I will never say that in real life. Yeah, I think the biggest part of me that I threw into Rampart was this kind of like, come on, bro. You know, that kind of like, let's just do it. Come on, let's be scrappy little people.
Right.
I super dig that about her. I super dig that about her. And that, again, much like we talked about, she has taken her experiences and just been like, all right, you want to keep knocking me down? I will keep getting the F back up. And that's been her story since she found her way to building her own shop, to it getting burned down, to all the other things that happened.
And
so I think there's a little more of her than me than I probably want to admit, because she is so mean. But I do have that like snarky side. I definitely have I super have that snarky side. I just don't let it out much in public, which is why it was so much fun to just go full bore on that stuff.
Yeah,
and the fact that they wanted more and more of it made me just very happy.
Well, that's the thing about the recording sessions is I think they're taking notes when we're not aware. I think that the little things we do work their way into the animation occasionally. And
absolutely. Absolutely. I know that, like, because I say a lot of times when I'm getting ready, when I was like getting ready for a line, I would say, right.
And now
and I do that. I do that in life, and that's in a lot too. And I do that in life too. I'm like, okay, right. What's next?
Right.
Or okay, what are we doing now? Like, so that I love that they let me do that. Also, I dance around a lot, and so a lot of the stuff that she was doing, like when she's like doing this, I don't know if they caught me doing that I don't know if that was them or if that was me. I honestly don't know, because I danced around the studio a lot, much to the
sound engineer.
Poor Butch was like, okay. I mean, I know how to stay, keep your
your mic technique.
This part of me is all over the place, doing all sorts of crazy business.
Right.
So yeah.
How much did they discuss? I mean, obviously she's Indian or South Asian.
Yeah.
How much?
Yes, she is Indian.
Yeah. Now that's a very large part of her personality, it seems. Yes. Now, how much of that was discussed, and how much of that did they say, look, we're not experts. We know that we wanted her to be sort of this persona. Bring as much of you and your experience of that to the table. I mean, how much of a give and take was there on that? Because Apex Apex bends over backwards to be as diverse as they can and inclusive as they can. So this is a thing with them. This is something very important.
Well, I also love how specific they were with it, because let's face it, first of all, this is a game set 700 years in the future on like an alternate planet and all of that stuff. So they could,
it's in space.
They could just throw it all to they could just be like, screw it all. We can do whatever we want.
Right.
But they are still attempting to say, okay, yeah, it's 700 years in the future, but this is a reference point for those of you in the current day in our reality. It's just a reference point. Right. And so in her background, the reference point is that she's Indian, but she moved to the UK. So she definitely, and then that's kind of where she built herself as an adult.
Okay.
Look, I showed this on the stream the other day. I had my first piece of framed fan art that I had for my office.
Nice.
I love this.
That's pretty awesome.
Van Holda. Isn't it cool? And Van Holda sent me a version with a little thing for me specifically. So so this is going up on my big wall of, I have so much fan art in this. I have an entire dresser full in the corner, and then it's also all over my walls and stuff. So I love art. I love fan art. I love art in general. I love how creative the gaming community is, and how I'm blown away by the generosity of people with their work.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing I don't understand about these games. This is the thing I don't understand about these games.
You crazy kids.
No. The thing is, I don't have enough of a sense of the geography to know that, like, someone is on the roof behind me shooting down at me. Or I can't figure out on the screens, like, how can I tell where the hell I am?
Okay, let's say if you get shot at, a little red arrow will appear and tell you from whence the bullet came, so you can orient yourself that way.
But that's after the fact. I'm already dead by then.
Well, there's also a map that you have that you can keep in the corner of the screen. And trust me, my situational awareness in the game is horrible. I'm not very good at it. I've gone from being execrable to moderately incompetent. So I've climbed the ladder. That's
probably where I will I'll peak at moderately incompetent.
And I'm fine with that too. I'm not doing this because I'm great at this game. I'm doing this to open a window to this world for myself and for people who enjoy the game. And you are one of the lovely and amazing figures we see through that window. Thank you, Anjali.
Thank you. So bye, guys.
We are rating them.
Yay.
Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Espero que estén muy bien. Una pequeña disculpa por haber tardado tanto en traerles esta entrevista. Queríamos traerlo lo más rápido posible cuando salió la temporada, pero hemos estado un poco ocupados últimamente. También paso a saludar a mis miembros del canal, ya que gracias a ellos y a sus aportaciones es que nos mantenemos motivados. A diferencia de lo que muchos puedan pensar, YouTube no da demasiado, y es gracias a sus contribuciones que uno puede decir, bueno, ok, puedo seguir con este pequeño proyecto. En serio. Por lo tanto, muchas gracias a Miguel Jesus, Tecno, La Moya Hispánico, Tsubo, Darkos, Juan Francisco, Mario Martínez, Josué, John Urbina, The Guard Panic, Katsune, Fistrap, Silver TV, Glitch, Felipe Ramos, $1, Wall of Ink, Sir Dragon, Blaze, Luis Axel, Eric Gay, Raimundo Hernández y Thanks. Muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Últimamente los he visto también pasarse a los streams, a los directos en Twitch, y también me están apoyando bastante por ahí. En serio, se los agradezco. Bueno, a los que no me siguen en Twitch, los invito. Se pone muy bonita la conversación ahí en el chat, bastante tranquila. Van a reconocer a bastantes suscriptores de por aquí, pero platicando allá en directo. Bueno chicos, en otra ocasión, cuídense mucho.